Anyway, so this is a guy. We've got a video here. This is a guy that apparently just started or something. He has no followers whatsoever. Nobody fucking knows who this guy is. But he got sent to me. Let's see how many videos he's got. 3 months ago he began, and he's trying very much to be a right-wing grifty boy. He sucks though. It looks like he might actually be in college or something. But he's a grown man, which is fine. You can go back to college. But he has like some sort of stand-up thing here. Maybe we'll look at that. But this is an interesting video. I don't know. He's just everything bad. The channel is called BreakingWoke. Okay. The channel is called BreakingWoke. This is the fella. He's an English guy, because of course he is. The Ugly History of Progressive Liberal Leftism. The Ugly History of Progressive Liberal Leftism. It has 68 views. He has 211 subscribers. There's not a single comment on here. I guess let's see how this grift is going. Let's watch some of this. Could be fun.
Hi folks, I'm Douglas Kruger, the author of the brand new book Political Correctness Does More Harm Than Good.
He's got a book called Political Correctness Does More Harm Than Good. Are we shocked he's a white English man? Is anybody shocked by this? Okay. Oh, I'm so glad that lol cows continue to graze upon the grasses in my cornfield.
How to identify, debunk, and dismantle dangerous ideas. Welcome to Breaking Woke, where we do just that.
He is fat fit, whereas I'm hard fat, which is like so I'm hard fat. I have an athletic body under fat. He's fat fit, in which he is transitioning either from fatness to fitness or fitness to fatness. He's in a transitional phase, and so he is unsettling to me right now. He is objectively in better shape than me, so I'm not shaming him by any way. But I could just you could just see it. You know what I'm saying? He's doughy. He's doughy. No, you don't, Jake. What? No, you don't, Jake. What? I don't know what that means. I'm hard fat. Like if you were to hug me, and let's be real, we'd have a good hug, you and me, chat. You would feel my muscles, with a little bit of padding on top. Yeah, it's my hard fatness. I don't jiggle very much. He's husky. No, he's not husky. He's not husky. He's in decent shape. He's just an older guy. I'm not shaming him. I'm saying I'm beyond the stage. I've been through this transitional stage.
People underestimate how firm this is.
I got muscles under here. Anyway, so I'm hard fat. This is the stage that happens after this stage, which is fit fat.
Why is his neck so small?
That's what I'm talking about. So I can't tell if he's transitioning into fitness, like he's lost weight recently, or if he's transitioning out of fitness.
It looks like he's just focusing on arms.
The neck specifically would lead me to believe he is transitioning into fitness. Because as you can see, Daddy's got a thick, muscular, big boy neck, okay? And this guy does not. All right? Actually, you can't see it because I am trapped in corn. I actually used to do neck lifts. That was a thing. Because in football, you don't want, specifically for football, when you get down and you're a lineman, your fucking head hits somebody almost immediately, and you don't want your neck to go and die. So you're told to do a lot of neck workouts, and so I used to do a lot of neck workouts, and I always thought someday, you want to see the model neck? Do you want to see the ultimate neck? Do you want to see the manliest neck of all time? Here's the standard by which all necks are. Shh, don't blow it. Yeah, okay, don't blow your wad on here. I need to. Is there a good shot of it? There it is. Here's a good shot. Can you fucking please? What the fuck is it? Did you see that? What that was doing? All right, here is, yeah. It's It's Mel Gibson. It's Mel Gibson's.
Yeah, he's got a vascular.
It's he's got the manliest neck. It's also anti-Semitic. His neck hates the Jews, but also. You not know famously that Mel Gibson is incredibly anti-Jew?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, he's super anti-Semitic. But this is the neck that I thought that someday I would have if I did enough neck lifts. Turns out, genetic. Shocker. You don't get to be Mel Gibson unless you're Mel, okay? And then you have to also be racist. That sucks. Powered by racism. Maybe that's what you need. You need a big racism to do big neck. So anyway, we're gonna continue talking about this guy. We haven't even gotten into the things. I just literally self-deprecated for 5 straight minutes. Don't worry about it, chat.
In a previous video, we met the father of modern liberalism, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the prototypical liberal. This is a man who introduced collectivism into Western thought, and he did so because he didn't want to raise his children. He had a number of different children with different women, and he decided that, as a respected thinker, he didn't want to have to be burdened with these children. So he came up with an emailed theory of collectivist raising of children, in which the state should become their wards.
Like the it takes a village thing. Okay, so is this... Do any of you feel the same way about how your kids should be raised? Is this a common thing? I've not heard a lot of leftists say that they shouldn't raise their own kids. I feel like most leftists are like, nah, let me raise my own kids. Like, yeah, children are a burden. I totally agree, but I don't think most people are like, yeah, village, you raise the kids. I think the point is like, village has impact on the kids, and we should understand that. Not that village raises the kids and the parents aren't part of the picture. Bong rips for Corn Pope. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Hope your bong rip goes well. Only biceps, yes. He only has biceps on his arm.
All of his children died young, all died in institutions, and none of them had their father beside them at
because he wasn't a Chad capitalist.
the time. So that was Jean-Jacques Rousseau. If you missed that video, please check out this one.
I hear a lot of leftists advocating for childcare funding and whatnot. So childcare funding is so that we can go to work and also have kids. My husband randomly thought your Twitch name was Corn Cob Jake. Well, Flower Girl, I like your husband.
He introduces collectivism into the system. And then along comes Karl Marx, who picks up the seeds of thinking from Jean-Jacques Rousseau and decides that what we really need is an economic system based on this collectivism, and gives us communism. Over 100 million dead in under 100 years.
Jesus Christ. This guy is not very good at rhetoric. Because he's trying to do this like, he understands that he's English. He understands that, what's up, Bobby Fino? D&D Sunday. Into the fold. So this guy thinks he's like this benevolent actor here. He's again, he has no following whatsoever. So he's going off the model of other English people. Sargon is a great example of this, where Sargon will you know, he'll have a quiet set, and he'll talk like this, and sometimes he'll light a cigar, and if we talk like this, very softly, and have ideas, people will listen to us because we don't sound ridiculous. But the things that come out of our mouths are ridiculous. But if you're not paying attention, it just sounds smart. Because, boy, do English people sound smart. Ah, yes. I think it's called being smarmy. Listen to these two things, okay? This beef jerky is delicious. Okay? Now if I do this, watch. This beef jerky is delicious. I feel like you trust me more the second time. I'm just tossing that out there. I feel like you trust me more with an English accent. It's just a grift.
The greatest human tragedy we have ever seen. Many people...
What? The Holocaust exists! Imperialism exists. Chattel slavery for hundreds of years exists. What are you talking about?
People think that our most devastating idea, the most dangerous idea we've ever had, has been religion. Well, let's put that into context. In the last 6 days alone, Planned Parenthood, an abortion institute, has killed more human beings and ended more human lives than the Spanish Inquisition managed to do in 350 years.
Here's the big difference. Only one group of those were human beings. Only one group of those were human beings that were killed. The other ones were a collection of cells with some cummies on them. Did you know that if you just cum on some cells, that's not a person? Say it with me. Coming on a cell does not make it a person. It's okay. It's just a cummy cell. That's all it is. I don't know why. I don't know why. Why do they tell you what? Instead of throwing the cummy cells away, let's just ship them all to this guy, so he could be slathered in cummy cells for the rest of his life. He'll never run out. Think of how he won't need glue anymore. That's for sure. Everything will stick to it. You're not saying it that way, but it is. It's just a cell with some splooge upon it. Let's just be real. There's also splooge inside of it, but only one of them. Because he was the best. He was the best, strongest one. He was the Trojan horse. But really, the rest, I mean, just slathering the gametes with barbecue sauce. Think of it like this, okay? Your pee-pee is the brush with the sauce, and the egg is just a rack of ribs. And the womb is a grill. Unless you're slow cooking it, in which case it's a smoker. That's all it is. That's all it is. Stop romanticizing it. It's a weird look, frankly.
And yet they still cannot match communism for its body count. Thank you, Mr. Rousseau, and thank you, Mr. Marx. So, he was the original prototypical liberal. But now we flash forward to meet the Frankfurt School. Here's what happened.
I'm not a communist, by the way, but I hate when they say this factually incorrect thing, where communism just is the root of all the evils. It killed 100 million people. No, often it was like militaries and shit. And I guarantee they count the Vietnam War. I guarantee it.
Communism and Marxist socialism proved
What's capitalism's body count? Everybody else that died.
themselves to be a devastating failure. But the Frankfurt School, based in Germany, which then...
Remember when the Brits killed 1.8 trillion in Canada? Or in India? Trillions of people have never existed.
Later moved to the United States, was unhappy with this outcome. They wanted to force communism into the
100
USA.
trillion
They
dead.
morphed it from an economic theory into a social theory. Here's the history.
As economic Marxism proved itself to be a complete and
I'm sorry. This guy has a YouTube channel where he says a thing, then he puts his own book on screen, and then he reads an excerpt from his own book as a matter of citing his own opinion. Okay.
embarrassing failure in every country in which it was tried. Radical Marxists pulled a new trick. They transformed the basic theory from one particular...
They transformed. All right, I don't believe this guy says transformed when he's just hanging around his friends. I don't believe he calls them the Transformers, okay? Transformers, robots in disguise. In disguise. Does he think disguise is a French word? Desque. Transformers, robots in disguise.
Pertaining to economic theory
Trans
alone.
rights.
All history is the history of class struggle. Into one more broadly about cultural theory. All history is the history of demographic struggle.
Okay.
It is the same thing, just repackaged to focus less overtly on systems of work and money and more on systems of human interaction. Replace evil capitalists with evil power structures and keep fighting for revolution. The leading proponent of this switch in tracks for Marxism was the Frankfurt School.
Oh my fuck, dude. Am I nuts, or is the Frankfurt School anti-Semitic? Am I stupid? Am I a big dumb? Am I forgetting? The Frankfurt School. Whoa. By Goethe. Goethe. Criticism. Why is all this boring? Metaphorical play, blah, blah, blah. Critical theory. I don't know. I'm right? Why is that in my head, though? Critique of Western civilization? Hey, Andy. Why are you? Why do I have this in my head? Frankfurt School is a dog whistle at this point? Is that why? Oh, anti-Semites talk about it a lot. Okay. All right. Okay. I don't have time or the desire to understand more about this right now.
This group of radical German
Let's just hear what he
intellectuals
says.
has much to answer for. When Karl Marx originally described his vision of the masses rising up, overthrowing their oppressors, and establishing global communism, he genuinely believed that his theory was inevitable, that it was simply the next logical progression of events. To him, it was a prediction. By contrast, the Frankfurt School was different. They saw that Marx's prediction was not coming to fruition, and decided to force it to happen.
I think what I'm remembering is not that the Frankfurt School is itself the anti-Semite institution. I think that anti-Semitic people go, the Frankfurt School. I think we saw it on I think it came up in a PragerU video or something. And then we did research on it, and then we found out that a bunch of anti-Semites talk about the Frankfurt School in anti-Semitic ways. Am I losing my mind here? Yeah, that's it? Okay. All right. That's what I thought. Okay.
They opted to actively and aggressively change Western US culture in order to impose the Marxism that they wanted. Their goal, in fact, was to destroy Western culture from within, in order to create the necessary vacuum that is the precondition for a communist utopia. So while the far distant origins of political correctness...
Okay. How is that different from saying that we should have certain social... like I guess certain social aspects of our culture ingrained in us so that capitalism continues? How is that fucking different? In what way is it different to be like, hey, I think we should have different societal values here, with the end goal being a better world? How is this different? They make it sound so nefarious, as if no other belief system is doing that. Every belief system does the same thing, where they go, hey, we should tell people about this thing, and then it would behoove us to be convincing because I think this is the best case for humanity. And then wouldn't it also be good if people wanted to do this of their own free will?
Are the teaming up of atheism and Marxism. We can say that the most immediate cause of our modern-day version of political correctness, its founding father in the West, is the Frankfurt School. They were responsible for transforming classical Marxism into a social movement and then setting it loose in the West.
Okay.
They are the creators and originators.
Yeah, so this is... it's starting to come back to me. This is part of the cabal of Jew... it's just showing his book, by the way. You don't have to see anything other than myself. a cabal of Jewish people are trying to change Western civilization. That kind of shit. That's why. He may think this quiet background and smooth James May impression might give him more legitimacy, but honestly, it's just making me sleepy. True.
Of the brand of toxic political correctness that we know today, the essential mission of the Frankfurt School was to create the following dynamic. See if any of this looks familiar to you. Polarize people along tribal lines. Teach different groups that Western civilization is oppressive. Encourage awareness of oppression to create alienation among these new groups.
Again, this is just a boring guy not understanding that if he applies this same level of scrutiny to his own beliefs about capitalism and Western culture, the tactics are exactly the same. Except one of them harms people and the other one is showing, hey, by the way, if we understand how hierarchy and stratification and class works, we can be better to each other.
See that alliances are made among groups united by their...
Is this just going to be him reading his fucking book? Look at this. Look at this. It's just the book the whole time. It's just the book the whole time. All right, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it halfway. If he doesn't say anything, else, I'm gonna get really mad, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop it.
Grievances. Encourage alienation to turn into anger and violence toward the system. Tear down Western civilization. Replace Western civilization in a socialist revolution. In the simplest possible terms, political correctness, as conceived by the Frankfurt School, had one overarching goal.
Okay.
Break society. Replace it with Marxism.
Breaks? What? Did you know society still exists if you have Marxism? What?
Everything it did, and everything it still does, is geared toward that end. And so, that is what we are fighting today. What currently holds up Western society? Broadly, the answers are standards, morals, science, democracy, and truth.
Standards? This guy's... These are just like weird, vaguely buzzwordy words.
The Frankfurt School introduced the tools of destruction for all of these Western standards.
Oh my god, I'm so
It introduced
bored.
critical theory to academia. Misleadingly labeled, this is not an actual theory. The theory is just to criticize. In other words, critical theory's job is to continually attack everything until it breaks. And with that, welcome to modern political correctness. To achieve Marxism, criticize everything until it falls down.
Criticize everything until it falls down. I don't think most people... Okay, when we talk about political correctness, which is not a term that anyone on the left uses, do we use the term PC ever? Stello Gaming, I thought you were already following. How dare you? When we use the term PC, it's only when it's someone on the right saying, well, I'm anti-PC. No one on the left goes, ah, yes, but you need to be politically correct, sir. No, because we understand it's not about politics. It's about decency. Being politically correct is not giving someone the correct name and using it or using their correct pronouns. That's not PC. That's just being normal. It's being kind. It's being respectful of another person. If I tell you my name is Jake and you call me Pedro for no reason, like, you're not being super respectful, right? Especially in a one-on-one. If you want, and I mean, just even more, just from a pragmatic perspective, if you want my attention, calling me Pedro is not going to get it. Because I'm not named Pedro. I don't respond to such things. It's not how it works. Also, every Pedro I know is a Mandalorian. I only know one. So, like the political correctness, the idea of like, I don't know, they think BLM is political. Like, it's not. What it is it's a search for equity in the face of inequity. That's all. These are. To make the claim that political correctness does more harm than good is only from the perspective of a white man in power that abuses that power. Then you would consider it being harmful to your station in life. Sargon of Akkad and Paul Joseph Watson are all the proof you need to have a British accent doesn't make you smart. True.
If your first line of attack doesn't work, you don't apologize and back away.
Okay.
You simply switch to a different line of attack and keep right on attacking. Progressives used this technique in academia, and they use this technique in their politics. Here is an example.
Okay.
Early Marxists judged the success of societies based on whether or not they met the needs of their citizens.
Okay.
Needs met was the criterion. They forecast, based on what they called science, that communist societies would meet these needs, while capitalist societies would not. When the opposite happened, they had a problem. How can you attack capitalism when it is meeting and exceeding the conditions for success that you yourself set?
Capitalism does not exceed the needs of most people under capitalism. That's never been a thing. Most people's needs being met under capital needs. Unless you think paycheck to paycheck is meeting a need. Like, there are people that go without needs regularly. Healthcare is a great example of one of those needs that goes without. Dental care, vision, although most people take care of their vision because they have to fucking survive. Like, a lot of people go without proper nutrition. Is this not meeting a need? Homelessness exists? Poverty exists? Like, is poverty good? The fact that you are alive is the need met, I guess? Like, what percentage of what percentage of Americans are in poverty? 11.8%. 12% of all Americans live in poverty. Remember that poverty is under $30,000. That's not shit. Oogle makes a good point. Poverty is a feature, not a bug. I mean, you cap it there, but I mean, in capitalism, poverty needs to exist because you need a lower class to have labor. Monique Christine, thanks so much for the community gifted sub. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Wah, wah, wah. Gonna have to break out the calculator again, Papa. We don't need to. No. Oh boy, we are not doing that again, are we? Please no. Please no. Ooh, Baja, you're carving pumpkins? Make sure Hannah leaves them out. I need to see how old the pumpkin gets before she remembers to pick up the pumpkin. Like, you don't bring it up. Just see how long it takes her to remember. Hannah Pumpkin Watch 2021. Very excited. Did you see the Pumpkin Watch last year, Baja? Ask about it. Oh God. All right, this guy is gonna get. We're at the 7-minute mark. He's getting to the 8-minute mark, and then I'm gonna see if there's anything that made me mad. Okay.
So they changed the conditions. Needs met had to go. In its place, they now substituted inequality. Sure, the needs of the people in the West are being met, but they are being met unequally. And based on this revised...
No, they're not being... The needs are not being met unequally in... The critique of capitalism by leftists is not that needs are being met, but unequally. It's that needs are only being met at a certain strata of class. And there's a lot of people that even though you think their needs are being met, we have different fundamental ideas of what needs are. Like, you don't think that shelter is a right. You don't think that healthcare is a right. We're talking about fundamentally different ideas here. You totally disagree. Like, oh, your needs are met because you exist. You're alive. That's not a good standard. That's not an ethical standard by which we should live. I don't know why don't they want things to be better? I don't understand. What's wrong with having better stuff? It's just fucking strange. Watch the pumpkin rot slower than Mitch McConnell.
New standard. They renewed their attack and have kept it up ever since. This is why it is important not only to be able to unravel the specific arguments in response to political correctness, but also to proactively champion our own culture and values.
Champion our own culture and values. I'm going to have to leave that right there, I think. I'm going to have to leave that one right where it's at and just avoid Breaking Woke, I think. I don't think Breaking Woke is a very good guy. Here are some other videos he does. Why is capitalism the most moral option? Responding to Trevor Noah on gender reveal parties. He thinks gender reveal parties are good, I guess. Where did cancel culture come from? How to debunk political correctness. That's where we just were. Escaping poverty on the topic of African nations and wealth. Thinking rich or poor. Terrible wealth idea. You know what a terrible wealth idea is? Writing a shitty book and then making a YouTube channel around it. The ugly history of progress. The global new book. What's in it? Douglas Kruger, who no one knows, on BLM, rape culture, and what might be better than political correctness. And then again, how political correctness hurts the poor. He's just trying to grift and he's bad at it. That's literally the whole thing.